In this video, I'll be checking out a new Android AI box from BRUXE. This brand is quite new on the horizon. Their website and store presence is very fresh out of the gates, but they do offer a very good AI box that features the Qualcomm 6225 chipset. So there's a lot of power there for your money, as long as I get that price right. Okay, let's check out what comes inside the box. Okay, so here's what you get inside the box. You get a paper instruction manual, a SIM removal tool, you get the box itself, and you get two methods to power the box. You've got a USB-A to USB-C and a USB-C to USB-C for more modern CarPlay ports in the car. Looking over the box then, it is a very nice aesthetic. You've got some tempered glass on the top and bottom of the casing, along with an aluminium metal space grey kind of coloured band around the edges. It's very nice. It looks nice and premium, and those materials are going to help with heat dissipation, because there are no cooling vents on the edges or on the base or top of the case. So all that material has to do lots of cooling for that chipset that's running inside. Now inside we've got a Qualcomm 6225 chipset with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage. On the edges there we've got a SIM card and a TF card slot. You've got the USB-C for power, and a couple of status indicator lights to let you know that it's operational. On the top we've got the branding smart car box, and this ring here lights up once the AI box is powered, and you can adjust those LEDs to suit your car interior. On the flip side we've got some logos, CarPlay and Android Auto and Android itself, which explains what this box is capable of doing. So lots of potential there. It looks the part already. Now let's see if it does the part by going in the car now and seeing how well this performs. So I'll see you there. Right, so we're in my Cupra Born and we've got the BRUXE R6 AI box ready to get plugged in. We're going to get this first connected and then see how quickly it takes to boot up. Plugging it in now. Okay, and that's just into the main menu interface. It's a very common interface that we've seen on many other AI boxes. We've got a side dock here on the right hand side. We've got one main large panel used for currently navigation. And we've got 4 sub panels. We've got time and date. We've got a media player. We've got a GPS track speedometer here, just for effect, I guess. And we've got 4 main shortcuts. Let's see if we can remove these. We can. So we can remove one, for example, and change that to something else, such as, like, say, YouTube. So you can have your 4 most favorite applications directly accessed on that. You've got time again, status indicators on the right here, last 4 opened apps, and a shortcut to the application. I've got a nice big high resolution display, so you're going to see a lot of apps here. 14 apps in total available per screen, which is really, really nice. Very nice and smooth, actually. That 6225 chipset has been nicely optimized and it's nice and buttery smooth. Happy with that. Before we dive elsewhere, we could quickly go into the device info, and here you can see all the cores that are running. We've got Android 13 running on the OS. We've got the 6225 version here with the Adreno 10 GPU. GPS is all running and it's picked up all the satellites from the actual adapter itself. RAM is up to 8GB on this version, and we've got probably up to 128GB storage, with the OS taking up around about 17 or so. I have installed a couple of apps already as well. Display is currently 30 Hz. Even though it's quite smooth, it is still running at 30 FPS. So we'll just come back to the main menu. Again, we've got the floating button of doom, and I have mentioned to them that it'd be really nice to have an option to remove this. I like to include a back button here, so we can actually get rid of that floating button. You can get rid of it, but unless your car system's got a back button, you can't really get back on certain apps. You can slide that dock back in, but you can't go back. Unless the app or the system screen itself has a back button, you can't really go back. So you still have to rely on this floating button. As you just saw there, I just launched up its LED section. That fires up the LED option on the actual unit itself. If you have it exposed in the car interior, you can make it match the color scheme of your car interior. And then you've got the usual key apps. You've got Google Maps, and that launches up very quickly. And very nice and smooth. You can zoom in and out with the double tap. No pinch and zoom on that one, just the tap them to zoom in. Works really well, looks really nice and sharp, not washed out at all, as it can be on some AI boxes. And obviously you've got the Play Store, which you can then launch up download any apps you like from the Google Play Store, from apps to games. So that's Google Maps. We can jump into the most important thing, which is YouTube. And that's us nice and quickly into YouTube. You can try out the audio sync test. I've recorded this earlier and I've gone through the frames of this, and this lag is very minimal compared to quite a lot of other AI boxes. It is probably running right now at 720p 60, but what I got at 1080p 60, it was actually running a little bit less delay, so that's even better. So now we should be running at 1080p 60, and I was getting around about between 0 and up to 260 ms in delay, and generally that's very, very good. And as we've seen in the past, it's a big trait with the 6225. We've seen 3 adapters really fall over themselves at not doing this properly, whether it's through software or lack of optimization. There's only a handful of 6225 chipset AI boxes that are doing this that well, and this is the best one I've tested so far. So with a very low delay, we can also check out how it sounds with lip sync. So I'll go into a video of mine. So it's running at 1080p 60 here already. Dongles have slowly progressed over the years, and we are now seeing makers switch their focus towards the 2-in-1 wireless CarPlay adapters, which offer the ability to also pair with Android Auto devices too. But that's for another video. That is very good. Very good sync, nice and sharp, superb on the audio playback on video in YouTube at least. So totally happy with YouTube. Let's just try out Netflix. It shouldn't be any different. So now into Netflix.
The overtake on Valtteri created this spark and this tension between the two of us.
That was committed, it was brave, it was brilliant.
Awesome. Got lips in sync, looks great as well. Totally happy with that in Netflix too. So that one's really, really well, both YouTube and Netflix. Solid pass on video sync in general. Totally happy with that. So we've done our test apps now, all working totally fine. Let's now move on to how it runs with CarPlay. So CarPlay is done with their SpeedPlay app, which is quite a common app that we've seen on AI boxes using this platform. Very little options in terms of what you can configure here compared to things like, say, Z-Link. Not many people are using Z-Link anymore for some reason. But let's try the AI box. I'm going to connect my phone. So here we have the Wi-Fi hotspot has opened up. We're going to pair. We'll allow our favorites to sync. Connect. And that's us into wireless Apple CarPlay. I'll put that down below how long that took. Slightly lower in resolution compared to native wireless CarPlay, which is kind of expected as it is going through software. But the maps aren't washed out and interaction is there as far as good as it gets really on an AI box. We'll go into the maps. We'll do a little bit of a jiggle, zoom in and zoom out. It's not pointing me in the right direction, unfortunately. So it's not taking on the GPS pass-through, and I don't really get to see that often anyway on AI boxes, so you're not really missing out there. Let's check out some audio. About 1 to 2 second delay there on the audio interaction. You've got wheel controls, no problem. And the call button, that fires as well. Send an audio message to test. Hi, this is Anthony from CarPlayLife.com, and this is an audio test using the BRUXE AI Box, and this is a CarPlay audio test. Okay, that sounds good. Picked up the microphone in the car, totally fine. Sounds good as well, and its audio is resumed after it in CarPlay too, so happy with that. So with this option here, you can turn on and have the Wi-Fi and the CarPlay Android Auto and stay connected. And here you can also set up the boot up app as well, and the voice assistant used within the Android platform. And that's pretty much the settings in a nutshell. You can go into the main Android settings to pair up Bluetooth controllers and things like that. But that's the Wi-Fi running, and we can try to go back into CarPlay again, see if that reconnects us. And that's us back into the wireless CarPlay. A little bit of artifacting there. So you've got CarPlay running, and we can come out of here and then go into, like, say, Google. That's obviously running too, and we're connected to the Wi-Fi as well. Let's try a call delay test. Hello? 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 Okay, good sound quality. Slight delay, but not significant enough to make me worried about that in terms of calling. I'd say that's a pass generally for this adapter. So that's CarPlay in a nutshell already. We've tried calling and audio quality. We've checked the buttons and the steering wheel controls. All sound good. Right, let's quit out of here and let's try Android Auto. I've still got my Samsung S22 here, ready to get connected. And that's us into Android Auto nice and quickly. And generally, I think that looks really, really nice, actually. It's a little bit sharper, surprisingly, than CarPlay. It looks a little bit more native than what I am used to. Let's just try responsiveness by going into the Maps section. Not too bad. All works pretty well. And it's, again, not passing anything to my heads-up display, unfortunately. Not many AI boxes actually do that, if at all. But generally, Maps looks good to me. Nice and fairly responsive, considering that you're doing this through wireless. Let's check out some audio. A little bit quicker on the responsiveness than CarPlay, which is expected. Wheel controls goes backwards and forwards just fine. Talk button, that loads up Google Assistant and it's hearing me as well, so that's good. Solid on that. Let's try out some calling. Hello? 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 Okay, so out of a call, that's worked out totally fine. Call quality, very good actually. Very little delay as well. Totally happy with that. So that's Android Auto and CarPlay wirelessly on the BRUXE R6. Good pass overall. You will get better performance on an actual wireless CarPlay adapter or Android Auto adapter, but considering as AI boxes goes, this is actually quite good actually, generally for wireless CarPlay and Android Auto. So you've got your usual suite of apps really. We've gone through settings. This will take you back to the actual car system. The usual Google Chrome suite. I've done a couple of benchmarks and it benchmarks quite well actually. It is up there with the rest of them, at least the 6225 AI boxes. But I would definitely recommend this one over the others, top two above it, because those two have problems with the video on YouTube and things like that. So with significant audio delay, this one doesn't have it. So you get the best of both worlds. You get good performance on the 6225 and the video works. You can update the box as well. It currently has 19th of November last year, which is a little bit odd. I thought there'd be a newer update out already so far, but considering that the box isn't even out yet, then we might see some updates once customers have issues. They might start addressing those in the near future. You've got some pre-installed apps for some streaming services as well, such as Disney Plus and Hulu. Mirror is actually built into this adapter, so you can mirror your phone. Let's try that out. So you've got the option of iOS and Android. We've seen this before. Here we're now into the iOS version. So here we have AirPlay, so we're going to tap this. We're on the same network. And that's us now connected over AirPlay. You can see the delay there. It's not significant, but that will definitely be significant for any audio delay. So we'll try that out with YouTube. From Mix. This is the two and playing out to it. That's a physical button switch between multiple devices. Trying to catch up. Bit of an audio issue. I saw this adapter. I thought I'd check it out, see if it's very similar, and it could potentially be a decent alternative. So here's what you get inside. Bit of an audio lag. More frame rate issue really. Keeps freezing every now and then. You might get a better experience if you actually directly connect the phone to the adapter.
A few moments later.
Okay, so a little bit harder to get that to work properly with mirroring. I've done exactly what they've said, and you can see that it's a little bit delay in that actually running. Let's try Android and see if that's any different. So again, the Android will need to be on the same network. All right, we've got a problem with mirroring on Android Auto. Not the end of the world, because mirroring is not actually that great on these things anyway. Something for them to address in a future update. I'm not actually running the latest update apparently, so I'll put that in a pinned comment down below if I got that working after applying a future update. Okay, moving on. We can just try out some quick lightweight gaming. Right, so we're into some Crossy Road here. Right, so here we are in Crossy Road, checking out some of the gaming. Now there is an issue with this box, which is very similar to other boxes like CarLinkit as well, where there's no audio. The workaround that I normally do is quickly go into Spotify, play some audio, and then go back into the game, and then you've got audio again. Now this is a common trait that I see often, and it's no different to the BRUXE AI Box. And it's nice and smooth generally on the Adreno 610. We've seen some 610 AI boxes do struggle with this, and the BRUXE seems to be working okay generally with gaming. And that's Crossy Road. And now we're into Subway Surfer. Again, a quite lightweight 3D game with touch input. You can definitely play this no problem. Runs already well. Very little stuttering. There's a little bit of an audio crackling though. I'm not sure why that's happening. But it's definitely playable. Nice and smooth. And happy with generally how that works. Let's connect up a Bluetooth controller. We are all paired up and ready to go. And now you could actually control the UI with the controller if you like. We can try out some other games that utilize the controller. I've tried a few, but there really are not many Android games that use the controller. I really am surprised. But you can hear that crackle. I'm not quite sure why that is crackling. So yeah, you got Bluetooth controller support. You could use a Bluetooth remote as well if you wanted to control the on-screen controls as well as gaming using a controller, or just use the touchscreen if you wanted to. It's quite a cool game though, this one. You could try Call of Duty, but I ran it. It's not really up to scratch on the 610. Even on its lowest settings, it does struggle. So here we're into Asphalt Legends. Looks okay. It's quite blurry though, so it's definitely running in a lower resolution version of this particular game. But it runs it fairly smoothly, and it's a good casual play using the touchscreen. I tried the controller, it doesn't seem to work that well. But that's Asphalt Legends, runs okay on its lowest settings. Again, a little bit of issue with the sound, and I do hope that an update fixes this. So that's gaming generally on the R6. Okay, now we're into VLC, and we're going to check out the SD card that I've put into it with some media. Now, the 6225 chipset does struggle and will struggle with 4K content, unlike the 6125 and the 660. That seems to be able to play 4K 30. But let's be honest, there isn't a 4K resolution display in the car, so it would be kind of wasted anyway. So I'll just show you 1080p anyway.
War is inevitable. One must destroy in order to create. We are no Jedi.
That sounds good. Nice in sync as well. Looks nice, and VLC, we can stretch that out to our full size display and get a nice rich experience there. Now that's 1080p, all nice, and well, you'd think it looks good and you'll be happy with that. But let's just go to the worst case scenario, and you do have 4K content. I'll just do bitrate quickly. This is a high bitrate test, and usually you'd see that struggle because of the amount of birds on the screen and the amount of draw calls that it's got to do. Sometimes it really messes up down here, but I'm not seeing it happen on this particular one, and it's not stuttering either, so it's handling that high bit rate fairly well. But let's go back into this 4K 30. So you're going to see it start stuttering. It looks really nice and sharp, but you can see it does struggle with 4K content, this chipset, and that's expected. But it looks really, really nice and sharp, but it does struggle. 4K 60, don't even go there, but let's just try out. You probably can't see it in the camera, it's just about to come in. We can skip forward and see if it actually refreshes. Yeah, it just loses it completely. It can't do 60 FPS at 4K. So if you've got that content and you're looking for an adapter that will run that, you really need to go with the 6490 like the Rocket, or look for a different adapter that can actually do 4K 60, which is quite rare at the moment. But 1080, no issues whatsoever. So if you've got that kind of content on your SD card, it's going to run that totally fine without any issues, and it's going to be nice and buttery smooth. So the BRUXE R6 currently retails from $199 for the 4GB 64GB version. The one you're seeing here is the 8GB version, which retails for $239 for the 8GB 128GB of storage version. And this is currently only available on their website, and I'll link that down below so you can learn more about this adapter, support the channel, and buy yourself one. Generally, I think it's a very good adapter. It's got the processing power of the 6225, which is a very good performing adapter, also at a very reasonable price. Its quality of its materials, of the actual adapter itself, is very good. You've got that glass and that aluminium frame, which is definitely helping with the temperature of the thing inside. I've been running those games, that 4K content and everything else, and it is basically warm to the touch. Thanks to that glass, it's just warm, it's not even barely hot. Those materials are definitely doing that job of cooling that processor down. It's had lots of optimizations in videos. This is probably one of the best video AI box that I've tried so far. So if you are looking for a box for video playback, this is definitely one that's worth checking out. It may be priced a little bit high compared to some of its competitors, but honestly, with those premium grade materials on the casing, it's definitely going to last that test of time, and the optimizations that they've done on that video performance is actually good too. We have seen a few of those issues with gaming generally, with the sound quality and the no sound, which is quite common with some of the most common brands of AI boxes, so it's not that unique to this particular brand either. And hopefully now that I've told them about it, they should be addressing that and bringing out an update, and I'll put that in a pinned comment down below once that update has been out and does it address those issues that I found in this review. But overall, fantastic product from BRUXE, a newcomer to the AI box family, put it that way, and I really am good to see another competitor in this area that's addressing a few of these main issues proficiently as well, and hopefully a few of my ideas might come through to their updates as well, and we'll see this progress and get a little bit better. All right, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful. If it has, give us a big thumbs up down below. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions about this particular adapter. I'll do my best to answer them. If you enjoyed this video and you like my channel, you can help support it by sending me a super thanks down below on any of my videos. Or I've got links in the description to buy me a coffee where you can support me there too. And I really appreciate it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers. Bye.